racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Brothers and sisters, I want to ask you guys a question. If we murder someone in the streets and they're unarmed, do we go to jail?
Yeah!
So why don't these cops go to jail?
Never!
Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send the killer cops to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict,
Send the killer cops to jail.
the whole damn system.
It's guilty as hell.
And what is it? It has woken up a nation.
Yeah!
It has woken up a nation to the racism which has this nation in its grip as much as it ever had. And it presents us with a challenge we will be either women enough and men enough to stand up to, or to our everlasting shame, we will not. It has provided us with an opportunity to do what we are doing today, but if we do not continue, if we do not fight, if we do not remember our past victories, if we are not willing to stay the course no matter what the police throw for us, then we cannot win. But if we will remember our past victories, if we remember that it's not the politicians, that it's not the people who make us poor, who make us desperate, who perpetuate the racism, but only you and I that can stand up to this challenge, that history itself, sisters and brothers, is on our side, and our day will surely come. I thank you.
Thanks everyone for being here. And you know, we're going to be marching in just a few minutes, the streets being closed down, and we're going to march past the LAPD headquarters, the site where so many officers killing, brutalizing, and harassing on a daily basis people of color all throughout this city. And then we're going to march all the way to Union Station, a hub of the city, to show people that Black Lives Matter, that Brown Lives Matter, that people of all nationalities are standing up to this epidemic of horrific harassment and killings and abuse all across the country. And this is history in the making right now. This is history happening in the streets. This is a new civil rights movement, and you all are a part of making history right now. Now, you know, it's hard to, to think about all the people who have been killed recently. The names we know so well: Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and the names maybe some people haven't heard. If you're learning about Dante Jordan today, if you're learning about Dante Parker today, other people, so many of that long list, whose families are courageously standing up at the forefront of this movement, are the mothers and the fathers and the brothers and the sisters of those who have lost their lives. And we think about those who are killed, we know that in their last moments that they were scared, that Eric Garner was scared, that Mike Brown was scared, that Trayvon Martin was scared, and their last moment was fear. But we also know that out of that fear, there can be something good. We know that there is fear in the South when black people stood up to Klan terrorism. When they were fighting for civil rights, there was terrorists that were shooting in their houses, that were burning down their schools. They were scared too. But they stood up and fight, and they won after a long time, and they won. And they were joined by people of all nationalities, and they won because they continued to fight. Now, it's so sad that this has happened. It's so somber to think of the lives that have been lost, to think what they were feeling at the moment they died. But something else happened. When people died, something else was born. When Mike Brown died, a movement was born. When Trayvon died, a movement was born. When Eric Garner died, a movement was born. This is the living legacy of those young men here today. You are Mike Brown, you're Eric Garner, and we gave birth to something that's really going to win because the ruling class is scared. The establishment is scared right now of what's happening over the country. When that announcement came out of that non-indictments, and you had 50 freeways all across the country shut down, that rings fear into the halls of power, and those people are feeling the pressure right now, so we're keeping up the pressure today. Thank you for being here.
We can't breathe! 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 We can't breathe!
We can't breathe! We can't breathe!
Justice for
Michael Brown.
Justice for
Michael Brown.
Justice for
Michael Brown.
this racist system.
Shut it down.
Justice for
Michael Brown.
Justice for
Michael Brown.
Justice for
Michael Brown.
this racist system.
Shut it down.
This racist system.
Shut it down.
This sexist system.
Shut it down.
This broken system.
Shut it down.
We are all Eric Garner. We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all.
Eric Garner.
We are all. Brothers and sisters, to all you out on the sidewalks watching us, do you know what it means when we say we are all Eric Garner? That means that when the cops killed Eric Garner, that could have been any of us. When the cops killed Mike Brown, that could have been any of us. When the cops rolled up to Tamir Rice and shot him, that could have been any of us. So we need to get out into the streets, or we may be next. No justice!
No peace.
No racist!
Police.
No justice!
Justice.
What do we want? What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. 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 We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want to fear police. We just want to live in peace. We don't want no justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No justice. No peace. 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 No justice. No peace.
Do we live in one America or two? Do we live in one America or two? Nobody should be persecuted by the people who are supposed to protect them. Anywhere.
So this is LAPD headquarters right here.
So we're going to scoot up to the edge of this block and we're going to do a die-in just so they know exactly what we need. Just a little bit further. Come up a little bit further. This place brings back memories. 2 weeks ago when we took to the streets, Officer Miller chucked me and then came back around and put a gun in my face when I was just speaking like I am. Hey, Officer Miller, miss me? I'm still here. You didn't scare me. A woman all 5'9", 125 pounds. You didn't scare me. Where's Captain Burt? Is he coming back out? Officer Baker, I still want my footage. Let's lay down, y'all. Let's show them what we look like. And let's have a few moments of silence for the fallen.
brothers and sisters, there have been too many lives lost to racism in this system. Too many lives lost to discrimination and racial profiling. We're here today to stand in opposition to that, to fight for a new future, to secure the futures of people of color and poor people that are told every day that they have no choice but to submit to the existing brutal racist system. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to stand up, brothers and sisters. We're going to stand up. Stand up to the racism, stand up to the centuries of oppression, stand up to all of the cops that think that they can get away with killing our brothers and sisters, brothers. Cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Cops and the Klan. Cops and the Klan. Cops and the Klan. Cops in the Klan. Cops in the Klan. Cops in the Klan. Don't move just yet. Don't move just yet. All right, brothers and sisters, so we're going to continue this march to Union Station. But before we go, I got one last check, and I want everyone to say as loud as they can to LAPD headquarters. Let me hear you say, can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. Say, we'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. I said, can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. Say, we'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. Can't ignore us any longer. Can't ignore us any longer. We'll be back, we'll be stronger. We'll be back, we'll be time is now. The power is on. The 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 time is now. The time is now. The time is now. We are all. 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 We can't breathe. 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 It's guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send the killer cops to jail. The whole damn system. Brothers and sisters, we're going to do one more dying for Union Station. If I could ask everyone to lie down.
We are all Michael Brown. 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 We are all. We are all.
Michael Brown. We are all Michael Brown.
All right, brothers and sisters, make some noise for yourselves for marching all the way down from Pershing Square. We're going to close out with a few speakers, the first of which is Mia. Please make some noise for her. She's been up here chanting and helping you guys lead this march.
First off, my name is Mir, and in Russian that means world and peace interchangeably. So first know, when you speak my name, you are speaking of peace. It is a vibration, and we are all interconnected in our vibrations and our outputs. I've been simultaneously encouraged and discouraged over the past few weeks with new injustices and tragedies arising as we try to stand against it. People are arguing and fighting for limelight instead of purpose. To all that, I say we must not be deterred. We must form a legitimate and encompassing movement, an organized, sustained movement to change laws and the spirit in which we relate to one another across cultures, to realize our deep connections as humans. Before any specific fight, we are human first. Before any color, we are human first. Before any religion or gender, we are human first, and we must return to humanity. See, the problem is not one case or instance, not one race or faction. The problem is that the human race seems to have collectively forgotten what it means to be human. Like I said earlier, there is good and bad on both sides, and we have lost touch with reality and strayed from the source. We have been desensitized to the loss of life and become complacent in believing, well, that's just the way it is. I, for one, don't want to hear that anymore. I, for one, don't want to hear it can never change. I, for one, don't want to hear any individual on this planet saying, I can't do anything. We cannot afford to continue in the manner that we always have and expect different results. Anybody knows that, by definition, is insanity. One more time, I'll say we cannot afford to continue in the manner that we always have and expect different results, because that, by definition, is insanity. I don't want my children, like I have, to be singing the same chants and songs as my grandparents and those who came before them. That is a fundamental flaw. Somewhere we also have to take ownership where we drop the ball, where once we get one stride, we keep going. If we have one successful march, we keep going, and we get smarter and more strategic about demonstrations. I've heard a lot of ideas over the past few weeks. We need to cripple the system. We need to stop spending. We need to do this, that, and the third. The fact of the matter is, we need to do all of it. We need to live better collectively. And before we can live better collectively, we have to teach how to do so from a place of love and peace. If you know somebody who might be ignorant to the issues or might not want to come out with you, don't condemn them. Don't come tell them they're wrong. Just hope and pray that they'll come out the next way and find a way to educate them. Find a way to make them aware. We have a lot of different issues and a lot of different organizations. We all need to be well versed on all of them. This is a common fight. And as I was saying to a brother earlier, we are sometimes victim of our own personal journey and our own personal experience, but I fundamentally believe that any harm or any loss of life anywhere is a disservice to us all. During so much confusion and frustration, we must first focus on relearning how to communicate and build with one another so we can all get on the same page. We can't make any legitimate change until we stop splintering off for individual pursuits and work legitimately together. Leaders need to step up and help unify. Strong voices need to love in the face of hate and keep going. Each and every one of you has a voice. Each and every one of you has a network and knows more people that you can awaken and bring out the next time, so we can be stronger the next time that these guys see us. time where we must come together. I can't stress that enough. We must awaken those in slumber to understand. Again, the power is ours, the time is now, and awaken alive. That's how we will survive. Thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters, my name is Andrew Nance. I'm a member of the Answer Coalition, and I'm going to say a few words as well. Only in America can a black person be found guilty for his own murder. After August 9th, Ferguson ignited the streets across the nation with people rallying against police brutality. But now, after these grand jury decisions, these marches and this movement has been rallying even louder against these racist courts and this broken system that allows cops pretending to be the victims of an unprovoked attack to walk free. This kind of violence is not a defect in the police departments that claim to protect and serve the communities they exist in. It is a tool, brothers and sisters. It is a tool, and it is used to control our communities, to keep our neighbors in fear, to smash the movement, to improve our conditions, and to maintain the impression that the 1% needs to stay wealthy off of the wealth that we produce. Don't listen to anyone when they say that this is not about race, that this is not a race thing. Hell yes, this is a race thing. Black and brown people get killed by the cops all the time without consequences. Yes, this is about race, brothers and sisters. Don't listen to anyone in the media who is trying to frame the movement to be unjustified or wrong. It is not a crime to fight back against the system that oppresses us, brothers and sisters. It is a right. We demand an immediate end to police brutality and the murder of black people. Justice for Eric Garner, justice for Trayvon Martin, justice for Mike Brown, justice for Tamir Rice. No one will give you justice, brothers and sisters, and no one will give you peace. We have to win it. And to win, we have to stay in the streets. Stay involved. This is not a moment, brothers and sisters. This is a movement. Sign up. Stay involved. Thank you.
All right, sisters and brothers, my name is Peta Lindsay. I'm an organizer with Answer Los Angeles. We thank you so much for coming out here today. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm not just an organizer. I also teach history at Los Angeles Public Schools. And I told my students that history is happening in the streets. And it's finals exam time for my kids. And congratulations, you are all acing your finals. We are making American history today, brothers and sisters. Now I want you to think about why you're here today. I was thinking about it this morning. I knew I had to be here for my students. Every single day, my students come to me with stories of being dragged out of their cars, of being thrown up against walls, of being disrespected, searched, and humiliated by the police. It's always for being in the wrong place and the wrong color at the wrong time. Whether it's driving while black or those racist gang injunctions, my students have already learned this system does not serve them. This system is trying to destroy them. The thing that breaks my heart is they say, but miss, what can you do about it? What can you do? It's always been this way. I'm sorry, I get choked up when they tell me this. But that's why I teach history, y'all. Because if you look to history, you can see that the only rights, the only consideration that black people, poor people, women, any minority in this country have won is because we have organized and fought for them. It's because we have built strong movements to demand those rights. So I urge you, sisters and brothers, whether this is your first demo or your 10,000th demo, please stay in the streets, please stay involved, please stay active for my students, for my kids, and for your kids. We've got to build this movement. We owe it to them, to the future, to build the movement that makes their lives better. Build the movement to end police brutality. Build the movement to protect black and brown lives and all of our lives. Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. Please stay involved.